Hello 6th primary, how are you all? Today we will going to complete our math syllabus تحت رعاية وإشراف وزارة التربية والتعليم. Today we will going to talk about repeated multiplication. What is the meaning of repeated multiplication and how we will going to use it by solving many equations. Let's see how we will going to do it. Repeated multiplication. Let's first talk about the meaning of repeated multiplication. If we have a number like 16, if I have a number like 16, we can write it in many different ways. I can use many different ways for writing 16. I can make 10 plus 6 can give me 16. Also, I can make 20 minus 4 equals 16. 2 times 8 equals 16. I have 32 divided by 2 equals 16, and so on, and so on, and so on. So I can write 16 by many different ways. Also, another for writing 16 is by making 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. By multiplying 2 4 times, it gives me also 16. So if I have a one number and I'm repeat multiplying it and 4 times or more, it means that I'm making a repeat multiplication. I'm repeating multiplying the same number. So instead of writing that, instead of writing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, I can write it in a different form. I can write it as 2 power of 4. And I will going to write like that, 2 power of 4. And is rated as 2 power of 4 or 2 to the fourth power. 2 to the fourth power. So repeated multiplication again means what? Means I have only one number and I'm repeating multiplying this number many times. So instead of writing that the number multiplying many times, I can write the number, the base, okay, and write that the number of the power is the number of the repeated times. So I can say it in another form or use another exercise. Now I have the base 2 because I'm making 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So this is my base. This is my base number. I'm repeat multiplying 2. So I'm repeat multiplying 2. This is my base. 2 is my base. And how many times I'm multiplying the 2? 4 times. So this is the power. 4 times. So I will going to write 4 as a power. Another form or another exercise, I have 8 times 8. So my base is 8. And how I'm repeat multiplying 8? How many times? 2 times. So I can write it as 8 times 8, or I can write it as 8 to the power of 2. Also, if I have a negative integer, I can make it -5 times -5 times -5 times -5. So my base here is a negative base. So I can write -5. -5 a power of what? I will going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So -5 to the power of 4. I will read it as -5 to the power of 4. So this is the main idea of the repeated multiplication and what it means. I have a base, I am repeat multiplying it a number of times. So my power will be this number. Any number to the power of 1, okay, I have here a cases. If I saw it, I will going to answer in a specific way. The first one, if I have a number to the power of 1 equal the number itself. So if I have for example, 5 power of 1. 5 power of 1 give me 5. Also, if I have -11 power of 1, it give me -11. And what it means? It means that the number repeated only one time. So I'm not having any difference. It will be the same base. This is because the 5 power of 1 equal 5, -11 power of 1 equal -11. Also, if I have 23 power of 1, give me also 23 because 23 only repeated one time. I'm writing it only one time. So my answer my final answer will be the same 23. Also, if I have a number, except a 0 of course, to the power of 0 equal 1. Let's see. If I have negative 18 power of 0. Power of 0 means 1. 0 means nothing. So negative 18 power of 0 means equal 1. So 32 power of 0 equal 1. So whatever the number is I have, if it power of 0, it give me 1. The value of it give me 1. Now, if my base is 1, if my base is 1 to the power of any number, the answer equals 1 too. And why? Because why I will have the same 1? I'm repeating, multiplying the 1. Of course, because 1 multiply 1 give me 1. So if I'm repeat multiplying the 1 100 times, it give me the same. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 equal 1. So whatever the power is, the answer is supposed to be 1. So 1 power of 5 give me 1. 1 power of 100 also give me 1. If I have a negative integer to the power of an even integer, it's a very important point. Take care. If I have a negative integer to the power of an even integer, gives a positive integers. If I have, for example, negative 3 power of 2. Negative 3 power of 2, it means that I'm repeat multiplying the negative 3 2 times. So negative 3 times negative 3, we already took it in multiplication. Negative times negative give me positive. So negative 3 times negative 3 give me a positive base, because negative times negative give me positive. So it will be 3 to the power of 2. So if I have an even power, even power like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. So even power give me the negative, change my negative base to a positive integer. So 3 times 3 equal 9. Negative 10 to the power of 4, it's an even integer, an even number. So, and negative 10, it's a negative integer. So if negative 10 to the power of 4, the power of 4 will make my negative 10 become a positive, because negative times negative give me positive. Also negative times negative give me positive. So it will be 10 power of 4, and of course it will be 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 equal 10,000. A negative integer to the power of an odd integer give me a negative integer, because I will not go into remove the negative. So if I have, for example, negative 6 to the power of 3. Negative 6 to the power of 3 means what? Means that I'm repeat multiplying negative 6 3 times. So negative 6 times negative 6 give me a positive. Negative times negative give me positive. But if I have a positive time another negative, so it changed my positive to become a negative 2. So I have a negative integer. So negative 6 to the power of 3 give me negative 6 to the power of 3, because 6 repeated 3 times. So it will be negative answer. It will be negative 216. Negative 2 to the power of 5. 5 is an odd number. 5 is an odd number, so I will going to repeat negative 2 5 times. I'm repeat multiplying negative 2 5 times. Let's check all together. Negative 2 to the power of negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 give me positive. Multiply another negative, change it to negative again. So times negative, change it to positive. Times another negative, change to be negative. So the final answer is supposed to be negative. So the summary of what we said, if I have a negative base, power of an even number, so my negative base will be changed to a positive base. It will be a positive. My answer is supposed to be positive. But if my power is odd number, like 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on, it will be a negative base too. So my answer will be negative, not change it to become a positive. I have some rules we have to follow, rules of the powers. In case of multiplying numbers with equal bases, keep the base. I will going to keep the base as it is, and I will going to add the powers. Look carefully. If I have 4 power of 2 times 4 power of 3, I have the same base, 4 and 4, not 4 and negative 4. Concentrate. I have 4 power of 2 times 4 to the power of 3. I have the same base. So instead of writing 4 times 4, then adding 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 3 times, I will going to keep the base as it is. I will going to write the 4 because it's my common base. It's my base here. And I will going to add my power. So I will going to make 2 plus 3. So instead of doing that, of course, I will going to write 4, my base, 2 plus 3 equal 5. 2 plus 3 equal 5. So my answer will be 4 to the power of 5. And of course, it will be easy to find the final answer using the calculator by writing 4 to the power of 5 equal. It gives me the final answer. Also, of course, I have 5 to the power of 6 times 5 to the power of 3. Now I have equal bases. 5 is my base. So, and there is a multiplication sign between them. So I will going to keep my base as it is. I will going to write the 5 as it is and add my power. So it gave me 6 plus 3. So 6 plus 3 give me 9. If I have a negative base, it will not going to change anything. I will going to do the same rule. I have a negative base times each other, the same base, negative 2. So negative 2 to the power of 4 times negative 2 to the power of 5. So I will going to take my base, اللي هي negative 2, and adding my power. So I will going to add 4 plus 5 give me 9. So my number will be negative 2 to the power of 9. And we're going to repeat it again, the first exercise here to make it clear for you why we are adding it. I said at the beginning 4 power of 2 times 4 power of 3. And instead of writing 4 power of 2 means 4 times 4 times, أهي الساين بتاعتي multiplication sign, I will put it again and write 4 power of 3 as 4 times 4 times 4. So the final answer or the total multiplication, I have the 4 and I repeat multiplying it how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So instead of writing 4, multiplying it 5 times, I will going to skip all this part and just write the same base and adding my power. I hope it's clear now. So I have 9 power of 2 times 9. Concentrating this point. 9 written without a power. But if I have something like that, it means that I have a power 1, but I'm not writing it. So I will going to write 9 to the power 2 plus 1. From where the 1 comes? From the 9. ال 9 هنا معناها ايه؟ معناها ان في power 1 بس I'm not writing it. I'm not writing the power 1. So I will going to write 9 as a base and add 2 plus 1 give me 3. So my number will be 9 to the power of 3. And take care of this trick. It comes a lot and when we answer it quickly, sometimes you are forgetting to put the 1. Rules over the power, the second rule. In the case of dividing, multiplication, I was adding it. So dividing, what I supposed to do? I was supposed to subtract if I have the same base. So in case of dividing two numbers with equal bases, keep the base and subtract the power. I will going to keep my base if they are equal, okay, and subtract the power. So let's have an exercise like 3 to the power of 5 divided by 3 power of 2. I have a divided. What I supposed to do here? I will going to have the same base. I will going to write the same base as the 3 and subtract 5 minus 2. So 5 minus 2, it gave me 3. How it can be? Why I do something like that? If I writing 3 to the power of 5, I will going to write it as it is. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 5 times. Type divided, I can switch the divided sign by the over, out of. اللاين ده ما هو معناه divided. طيب 3 power of 2. 3 power of 2 means what? Means 3 times 3. طيب we can cancel a 1, 3 simplify with another 3. So another 3 simplified with another 3. So how many 3 left here? I have only 3's. So 3 times 3 times 3 means what? 3 repeated 3 times. So I have to write 3 as a base and power of 3. So instead of doing all these steps, I can skip it and do write the same base. If I have the same base, I will go to write it and subtract the power. So if I have 2 to the power of 5 out of 2 to the power of 3, and you have to take care that out of means what? اللاين ده معناه ان هو divided. اللاين ده معناه divided. So sometimes I can get divided sign as we used to, or sometimes he can write it in a fraction form or out of. So 2 to the power of 5 divided by or out of 2 to the power of 3. I have the same base. I have 2. So I can write the same base, 2, and make 5 minus 3 to become 2. So my answer is supposed to be 2 to the power of 2. It means 2 repeated 2 times. 2 times 2. Here I have negative 5 to the power of 4, negative 5 to the power of 2. So I will go to write negative 5, 4, and I will go to take the power as I said. So 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2 give me 2. So the answer will be negative 5 to the power of 2. Now I have 6 to the power of 3 out of 6. Okay, 6. 6 power of 3 out of 6. Concentrate. 6 have no power? No, I have a power in 6, but I'm not writing it. I have a 1 as a power, but I'm not writing it. So I will going to make what? I will going to make 6. I will going to make it 6 my base, and make 3 minus 1. It becomes 6 to the power of 2. Now we can watch all together a video من بنك المعرفة. تعالوا نشوفوا هو بيقول إيه وبعدين نعلق عليه.
Hi friends! In this lesson, you have learned about the repeated multiplication, which is multiplying the number by itself more than one time. For example, 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 equals 2 to the power 3. And we also learned its basic laws, which are adding powers and subtracting powers. In the law of adding powers, we can add powers if the base is the same in the multiplication operation. For example, 2 to the power 2 multiplied by 2 equals 2 to the power 3, which equals 8. And in the law of subtracting powers, we can subtract powers if the base is the same in the division operation and the power of the numerator is bigger than the power of the denominator. For example, 2 to the power 4 divided by 2 to the power 2 equals 2 to the power 2, which equals 4. And please note that if the numerator and the denominator have the same power, the result will be 1. For example, if 2 to the power 2 is divided by 2 to the power 2, the result will be 2 to the power 0, which equals 1.
آخر بوينت في الفيديو بتاعنا مهمة قوي لازم ناخد بالنا منها، إن لو أنا عندي numerator equal a denominator with a power, okay, like 2 to the power of 2 divided by 2 to the power of 2. Already I can simplify them. واحنا أخدنا زمان قوي رول لما بيبقى numerator equal a denominator equal 1. Directly I can know it's equal 1. طيب احنا هنا لما خدنا repeated multiplication كمان ليها معنى، لأن 2 power of 2 divided by 2 power of 2 معناه إن أنا هاخد 2 as a base and make 2 minus 2 equal 0. And any number power of 0 give me equal A equal 1. This is a rule. تعالوا نحل أسئلة مع بعض على البورد ونشوف ازاي هنستخدم repeated multiplication by answer exercises and equation. Let's go. تعالوا نحل مع بعض exercises. The first exercise I have here, he told me to find the value of the following. The first exercise I have negative 1 to the power of 100 plus negative 1 to the power of 101. Here I have a trick. I have a negative base and a power. طيب, we said in the 1, if I have a base as a 1 or negative 1, I'm repeating, multiplying the 1 100 times. That my value will going to change? No. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 equal 1. But here I have a negative 1 to the power of 100. ال 100 هنا عندي ايه؟ ال 100 ده even power. It's an even power. So I will going to change my base to become from negative to a positive, because we said if I have a negative base with an even power, my number or my base will be changed to become a positive base. So instead of writing negative 1 to the power of 100, I can write it as 1. Also, I have negative 1 to the power of 101. 101 is 1 DA odd. So if I have a negative base with odd power, my negative base will be as it is. So negative 1 to the power of 101 give me negative 1. Now, if I'm adding 1 plus negative 1, of course, my answer is supposed to be a 0. Let's do the second one. Negative 4 to the power of 3 times negative 1 to the power of 5. First of all, to use the rule I talked about, I must have the same base. I have here the same base? No. The first one is negative 4, and the second base, it is negative 1. So I cannot use my rule here. I will going to do every one alone. So negative 4 to the power of 3, 3 is an odd power. So my answer is supposed to be a negative 2. Negative 1 to the power of 5 odd power. So it will be negative 1. So negative 4 to the power of 3, it gave me negative 64, because negative 4 times negative 4 equal positive 16. Positive 16 times negative 4 give me negative 64. Times negative 1, we already explained it before. So negative times negative give me a positive, and 64 times 1 give me 64. And I know you can do easily using your calculator. You can do it in 1 second, but I want you to understand the concept here. Why it become positive? Why it become negative? Why I have to do every one alone? Let's do the second one. I have here 2 to the power of 3 plus 2 to the power of 3. Concentrate, it's a positive sign, so I cannot use my rule. I will going to do every one alone. So it will be 2 to the power of 3, it will be 8 plus 4. So 8 plus 4, it will be directly 12. So by this way, I will going to do. I want you to concentrate when I will going to use my rule and when I will going to do every one alone. Now, I have letter D. The letter D is one of my common example. You will going to see it a lot. How we will going to do that? If you look, I have 2 to the power of 6 times 2 to the power of 5 divided by 2 to the power of 3 times 2. In this case, I will going to use my rule. My rule tell me if I have the same base multiplying with a power, I will going to write my base and adding my power. So I have at the beginning 2 times 2, so I will going to write only 1 2 and add 6 plus 5. Also in the denominator, I have 2 to the power of 3 times 2. I have the same base, so I will going to write only 1 2 and make 3 plus 1. From where the 1 comes from? Here the 1, but I'm not writing it. So it will be 6 plus 5 and 3 plus 1. So if I have 2 power of 6 plus 5 divided by 2 power of 3 plus 1, I will going to add my number. It will be 2 power of 11 divided by 2 power of 4. Now divided by, the rule of divided means what? Or tell me what? If I have the same base and I have a divided, so I will going to subtract my power. So I will going to write 2, 11 minus 4. 2 power of 11 minus 4, so it gives me the final answer 2 to the power of 7. And by this way, I can write 2 to the power of 7 in my calculator to find the final answer. So it will be 128. So 2 power of 7, it gives me 128. Now, we practice in our rule. I want every one of you to check the rule and practice a lot. If I have the same base, I will going and multiplying sign, so I will going to add my power and keep the same base as it is. If I have a divided sign, and the same base, I will going to write the base and subtract my power. Thank you very much. We will going to practice a lot and do more exercises in our revision. Thank you.